Hi, my name is Gemma and this is Chase and we are out the doghouse training. In today's video, we're going to be showing you our first impressions and unboxing of the Mud Daddy. So we're super excited about this, or I am anyway, and we're going to see how Chase reacts to it also. So, this is the first time, as I say, that we are opening any of these things. We did go for quite a few of the accessories as well, and I'm going to be giving you my first impressions and reviewing all of these as we try to use them. So, first of all, here in the box we have the Mud Daddy drying coat. So I will link everything in the description below, and on the website it does have a sizing chart. So I measured Chase and I went with the large. It does say to go slightly up a size, so we went with the large for that one. And then this is the connection to the brush for the Mud Daddy. We also, which I'm super excited about, we added on the Mud Daddy blue treat bag, and what I really like about this is it's a magnetic clasp. So whereas the treat bag that I use at the moment is a zip, and obviously as we know with reinforcement based training, we need to be very quick when we mark and reward any behaviours that we want, and sometimes I find myself having to faff around with the zip and delay giving Chase the treat. So I'm super excited to try using this, which is just a magnetic clasp, so I can just kind of pry it open with my hands, quickly grab the treat, and it should close back by itself. So I'll be looking forward to giving that a go. I also got the Mud Daddy detangling and de-shedding brush for dogs. I just love how this is all colour coordinated, so I went for the blue option with all of these products. And this just reminds me of the Tangle Teezer that I use for myself, and I know how effective that is for my hair. So I'm hoping that it's just as effective for Chase, having that detangler brush that I can hold and kind of gently tug, rather than having to use a brush where I can't really feel and control where that's tugging on his fur. In here, I also opted for the shampoo dispenser bottle. This was just, I wanted to try and see how this worked really. Obviously, I have no issues shampooing Chase with my hands, but for a quick kind of rinse and wash off, it would be a lot quicker to just have the shampoo coming out with as I'm brushing him with the Mud Daddy. So I'm gonna see how this works. We also have the Mud Daddy blue licking mat. So this should, it's got suction cups here I can see on the back, so that should stick to the Mud Daddy itself. And then we can smear some nice treats, like some peanut butter on there, and that can just distract the dog while we're using the device. And then I also opted for the Mud Daddy towel. So this was the drying coat, so that is something that I can wrap around him and that he can sit in and dry off, whereas to begin with I would just kind of hand dry him with this microfiber towel, and it comes in a nice little portable bag that you can zip up and put that away in once it's been used. And then finally the big reveal, the Mud Daddy itself. So we went for the 8 litre, again in the blue colour, so it all matches. So this device comes in several different sizes, the smallest being a 5 litre, which would probably be fine for Chase, but I thought I might as well go for the 8 litre just so I've got plenty of time, plenty of water to rinse him off, and in case, you know, we were opting for using it on more than one dog, I've got that extra potential there also. So that is everything that we purchased, all of the Mud Daddy accessories and the 8 litre Mud Daddy itself. So we're going to go outside now and try using this for the very first time, and I'm going to give you my initial thoughts and reviews. Hi, okay, so we are testing out the Mud Daddy for the first time. So I'm going to start by pumping it up. So I have the treat pouch here, which should just clip onto my side like so, and I'm going to pump it up. So I've already done a few pumps. It says it should take about 20 to begin with until it starts to feel some resistance. Okay, I'm feeling some resistance there. Now I'm going to see, one initial issue I have with this treat pouch is it'll probably be fine for when you're walking around, but when you're bending over, it does have a tendency to fall off. It's not a very tight clasp there. So I'm going to start by just dampening my lick mat and trying to get this to stick to the Mud Daddy, like so. Perfect. And then I'm gonna spread some peanut butter onto there, which Chase loves. So that should keep him nice and occupied while we're starting to work with him to clean him up, so you can have that little excess. Good boy. Okay. Right, wait, sit. So I have my detangler brush in one hand and the Mud Daddy brush, which has some fluff on it, in the other. Okay. So by releasing him onto the lick mat, he's already going into the stand position, which is perfect for rinsing him. And then I'm just going to start by using the brush without any water. So just get him used to that feeling of the brush on his fur, which doesn't seem to faze him at all. You can already see some fluff is coming off. And then I'm just going to test this out. I'm just going to gently, there we go. So he's still happy to carry on licking. So he's not phased there, so I'm just going to gently start to brush the water through his fur, just a little bit at a time, and then I'm going to use the detangler brush to brush that through as well. So first impressions of the brush, it is quite hard. The bristles are quite solid, don't have much flexibility to them, but I really like the design of the handle. It's really easy to grip, which obviously makes it easier for getting those bits of tangled up fur. So I'm just going to brush that through, and Chase seems perfectly happy just enjoying the peanut butter while we do this. I'm just going to take it nice and steady, just focus on the back of his fur for this first use. So it's really important with a dog that suffers from any kind of anxiety that we take things nice and slow. I don't want to startle him. I want this first impression to be really positive, where he just remembers that when this device is out, he gets to lick and enjoy lots of peanut butter and treats. So that's the goal for today, and so far he seems nice and happy. I'm just looking for any signs. I know he's slightly moving away from me at times, but I'm not too concerned. He's happy to carry on licking, which is the main thing. What I like about this brush is it gets into his undercoat quite nicely, so I can see already it's starting to really work the undercoat as well, which for a border collie is nice and really important. Okay, so first impressions of the, oh, see then the treat bag goes again. So the Mud Daddy itself, the pressure is okay. Good boy. So he's finished the peanut butter. I've got some extra treats here as well. So yeah, the pressure seems quite okay, quite gentle, which is fine for someone like Chase. That's probably about as much pressure as we want coming out there. And it seems to be doing well. It's soaking the fur quite thoroughly, the top coat especially. And it's just really easy to get into that undercoat, which tends to get the most muddy, that belly. That's really nice to work through. And Chase really doesn't seem bothered by the device. I think because of the soft bristles, which he's used to being brushed anyway, he just doesn't seem as fussed that the water's coming out, which kind of tells me what I thought I already knew. The reason he doesn't enjoy the shower at the moment is we have to take him into our ensuite, and it's obviously a slippery surface inside that shower, and I think that adds to the stress of the experience for him. Whereas the Mud Daddy being portable, we can do it anywhere, so we can do it on this concrete, and he's quite happy being on this solid floor and just letting me brush it through him. So really happy with the device itself. Super happy that Chase gives it his thumbs up. He seems pretty okay with letting me use it, and he definitely enjoys the lick mat there, so that's a really nice touch and accessory that I would definitely recommend. So let's next try the towel. Let's give you a little bit of a dry off. So it comes in this nice little bag, which is great, and it's got the Mud Daddy logo on it. Just move these out the way. Good boy. And again, I'm going to have a treat in one hand, and then I'm just going to dry off where we've just wet through there. So working the fur, wow, it's definitely taken a lot of that excess water off straight away, which is great. And we can really get under the belly there and we can see the towel is soaked, but especially the top coat seems to be taking a lot of that excess water off, which is brilliant. And obviously this should be quite fast drying given it's microfiber. So now we're just going to wrap you in the towel robe. So just grab that. Okay, so the last thing to try is the Mud Daddy towel robe, which again we got in blue. So initial impressions is this is really super soft. The only downside is for dogs like Chase that don't like putting their heads through things. It would be nice if that was something that could detach so we don't have to put their heads through it. But apart from that, really nice first impressions. Good boy. So Chase seems fairly happy to let me put that on him. And I think it's that way around. There we go. Waiting. Yes. Just make sure we're rewarding very often. So I've just clipped the lead on. So this part here can actually go over their head and dry their ears there, or it can just be rolled back there as a bit of a collar, which is a nice touch. And then we just need to get the underneath and just tuck that in and tighten that like so. So I think Chase is really happy in there. It feels really nice and soft. And let's just give you a little twirl. This way. Go. I'm gonna show. So he's perfectly happy moving around in that. Doesn't restrict the legs whatsoever. It's got the Mud Daddy logo on somewhere. Where is it? Has that gone underneath? Oh no, just here. Spin. Stay there. So we can see here where it fastens up at the top is the Mud Daddy logo. And I think you like that. Are you giving that a thumbs up? High five. Yes, good job. Good boy. So first impressions of the Mud Daddy and its accessories. So I'm pleased that I went with the 8-litre Mud Daddy in the end. We didn't use a ton of water there, but obviously this was just a bit of an initial induction for Chase, so he's not very muddy today. But it's actually smaller than I was expecting, the 8-litre itself. So I'm pleased that I went with that, just in case we get, those extra muddy days where he really needs a thorough rinse off. Really happy with the brushing device. So I like that it has the soft bristle attachment, which Chase really didn't mind, and that the water was quite a gentle pressure, but seemed to do the trick at soaking his fur thoroughly. So really happy with the Mud Daddy itself. The brush, the detangling brush as well, I would also recommend. It's got a really nice grip to it and seems to do a really great job. There's a ton of fur that have just come off in just those few strokes there. So this really does a good job at getting to that undercoat as well. Would recommend the brush. The treat pouch, I think, is going to be, I'm going to need to try this out a few more times to really have a verdict. Like I say, I'm really happy with the magnetic clasp. That's a really nice touch. It meant I could reward very quickly as I needed to, but it does keep falling off when I'm moving around. So a tighter grip to the attachment would be better. But when I'm just walking and not bending over, that shouldn't be an issue. And the microfiber towel seemed great, did the job, took a lot of excess water off very quickly. And the robe I particularly love. I would definitely recommend going that extra and getting the matching robe. This is really nice and soft. It seems like a good quality. The design itself, I really like that the collar folds back and can go over their ears if needs be. The only tweak there would be that it just needs to go over the dog's head, so it would be nicer to just have an option where you don't have to do that for dogs that don't like Chase. He didn't seem to mind it today because there's plenty of treats around, but yeah, he doesn't tend to like putting his head through things. But apart from that, I think it's a really good first impression. What do you think, buddy? Hey? I think in that robe he seems tired and ready to go and relax, which is a great sign. So a big thumbs up from us. And if you enjoyed watching today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more Out the Doghouse training.